Have you ever stopped to wonder what would happen if, for a moment, you could turn off the identity you carry? Imagine now, for a second, if you were no longer the person defined by your mistakes, your achievements, or even your fears. What would this version of you be like? The secret lies right here, in the present moment. When you fully concentrate on the now, without judgment or expectation, you begin to break the invisible chains that bind you to the past and the future. What happens when you do this? Time seems to slow down. The external chaos gives way to a deep sense of calm. Now, ask yourself, how much time have you really spent living in the present? Or is it that, many times, you're just going through the days as if you're on autopilot? What if, instead, you chose to disconnect from everything you think you are and, for a few moments, simply exist? This state of presence, free from the baggage of the past or expectations of the future, creates the perfect space for a new version of you to emerge. It's not something that happens overnight, but as you dedicate more to this space, the changes start happening faster than you can imagine. And true transformation begins there, in the present. Right here and now, where everything is possible. Have you noticed how your emotions can completely change the direction of your day? A moment of gratitude can turn even the simplest moment into a profound experience. And the opposite also happens, doesn't it? A single negative thought can set off a chain of events that seems to conspire against you. But what if I told you that the emotions you feel not only affect your day but are actively shaping your reality? Yes, everything you feel emits a frequency, a vibration that connects with the world around you, creating the experience you live. Think about it. How many times in a day have you found yourself stuck in a spiral of negative emotions? And how many times, in contrast, have you felt life flow when you were in tune with feelings of love, gratitude, or joy? Now, let me ask you. Have you ever stopped to think that the reality you live in is, in fact, a direct consequence of the emotions you carry? And what's even more fascinating, you have the power to change those frequencies. Every thought, every feeling is a seed planted in the quantum field, and what you harvest is exactly what you emitted. So why, many times, do we feel dominated by negative emotions? And more importantly, what would happen if you started to feel good regardless of what's happening around you? A day where, instead of being dragged by an emotion, you consciously choose the vibration you wish to emit. What do you think would begin to happen in your life? This is the key to aligning with what you truly desire. It's more than just a technique, it's a constant practice of inner transformation. And the best part? You can start now. Have you ever caught yourself reacting automatically to a situation, without even realizing what you were doing or feeling? As if it were a programmed reaction, an automatic response from the past. It's almost as if you had an autopilot on. And here's the interesting part, did you know that these reactions often have nothing to do with the present moment? They come from emotional patterns of the past. Now, imagine if you had the power to, instead of just reacting, observe your emotions and choices. And if, by noticing those patterns, you could decide not to follow the old script anymore. Would you be able to change your emotional response the moment it arises? It seems difficult, doesn't it? But here's the secret, the key is in observation. When you begin to pay attention to what's happening inside of you, without judgment, you start to notice the moments when these old habits repeat. From there, you can begin to do something different. No longer react, but choose. Now, I ask you, when was the last time you really stopped and observed your own reactions? Could it be that, by doing this, you begin to notice something that was previously unnoticed? Something that, because it's so deeply rooted, shapes not only your view of the world but also the experiences you attract. Meditation, mindfulness, and the practice of observation are powerful tools to help you break these cycles. Imagine a day where, instead of being dominated by your emotions, you become an attentive observer, capable of aligning with the quantum field, where all possibilities are within reach. And what if I told you that, by doing this, you could release the weight of the past, allowing the present to be the ground where you truly create your new reality? Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the best version of yourself. How do you feel? What are your thoughts, your attitudes? How does this new version of you react to life's challenges? Now, tell me, what do you see when you imagine the person you want to be? Visualization is not just a mental exercise. It is a powerful tool capable of transforming your future, starting from now. When you visualize your new identity, you're not just creating an image in your mind. You are, in fact, building a new reality. Every thought, every feeling, every detail of your visualization strengthens new neural connections, changing the structure of your brain and your life. And here's the most interesting part: did you know that, by practicing this visualization, you are literally rewriting who you are? You don't have to wait for an external change to begin becoming this new version. All you need to do is start seeing yourself differently, right now. Now, a question: how much time do you actually dedicate to truly visualizing the future you want? Or are you so caught up in the present, in the current circumstances, that you've forgotten the power that a simple vision can have over your journey? What if you started making this a daily practice? Imagine, every day, connecting with this new version of yourself, strengthening this new path in your mind and heart. Because when you begin to visualize your new identity, you're not just dreaming, you're creating the solid foundation for the change that's already about to happen. And what you think today can be the reflection of the person you will become tomorrow. Have you ever felt tempted to give up when things don't turn out as you expected? When the environment around you seems to resist the changes you're trying to make? And what if I told you that these challenges are not obstacles, but signs that you're on the right path? True transformation doesn't happen when everything is perfect, when the conditions are ideal. It happens when, even in the face of adversity, you choose to remain firm in your new identity. And the secret to that is consistency. Now, imagine you are on a boat, navigating through a stormy sea. The waves are large, the wind strong, and it feels difficult to stay on course. But what if you could keep the helm steady, no matter how strong the storm? The boat would keep moving forward, and you would get closer to your destination. And that's exactly what consistency does: it keeps you at the helm, even when difficulties try to steer you off course. The internal change you are creating needs to be nurtured daily, with small actions that, in the end, make all the difference. Are you willing to continue, even when the external environment doesn't yet reflect what you desire? I ask you, what happens when you act according to your new identity, even when the challenges seem greater than you imagined? Could it be that, by persevering, you're not only building a solid foundation for the future you want to live but also strengthening it? Every choice you make, even when things seem hard, is a step closer to real transformation. Remember, it's not the circumstances that define who you are, but the choices you make in the face of them. And as you stay steady, you begin to notice something magical: the environment begins to adjust to your new energy. Have you ever found yourself in a moment when everything seemed to align perfectly, as if the pieces of your life's puzzle were fitting effortlessly? These moments, known as synchronicities, are powerful signs that you're in tune with something bigger. But what exactly causes this magic? Imagine that you're playing music, and suddenly the universe begins to play along with you, as if everything around you is dancing to the rhythm of your vibration. This is synchronicity, when the energy you emit aligns with the energy of the cosmos. The question is, have you ever felt this harmony in your life? Now, if you haven't experienced this connection yet, don't worry. Synchronicity is a direct response to your energetic alignment. When you transform internally, when you begin to vibrate at a new frequency, the universe responds in unexpected ways. What once seemed like a coincidence becomes something almost magical, as if opportunities appear at the exact moment you need them. Have you ever noticed how suddenly the right people show up in your path, or how doors start to open when you least expect it? That's evidence that you're aligned. You're creating your reality through your energy, and the universe is simply responding to your call. Ask yourself, what have you been attracting into your life lately? And what if I told you that, by aligning your intentions, thoughts, and actions, you could create such a powerful field of synchronicity that what you seek would begin to appear with ease? Are you ready to create this natural flow of alignment, where every step you take is a direct response to your new state of being. Because the truth is simple, the universe is not something distant. It is responding to what you emit, to what you are vibrating right now. Have you ever felt as if you're in a void, a space between what was and what is yet to come? That moment when you left the old version of yourself behind, but you haven't yet fully seen the new version manifest. It's as if you're floating, unsure where you're headed, but deep down, you feel that something great is about to happen. This void, this discomfort, is actually a sign that you're on the right path. And what if I told you that this space of discomfort is, in fact, one of the most important phases of your transformation? You are between two versions of yourself, one that no longer serves you, and another that is about to be born. But for a moment, all you have is that feeling of emptiness. How do you deal with it? How do you feel when you still don't see the results of your change? Now, imagine that instead of fearing this discomfort, you saw it as a clue that transformation is underway. What if, by accepting this void, you could open space for new energy to flow more easily? Often, fear and anxiety arise in this moment. Am I on the right path? Why am I not seeing immediate results? These questions are natural. But what if, instead of resisting this void, you chose the process? What if you allowed yourself to pass through this space of transition, knowing that it is precisely here that true change is happening? Because transformation never happens in a linear way. Often, it manifests in the silence, in the emptiness, in the moment between changes. When you remain steady during this transition period, that's when the magic truly begins. Have you noticed how, at certain times in life, you feel completely in sync with yourself? As if your thoughts, emotions, and actions are perfectly aligned in harmony? But what if I told you that when this happens, you become like a magnet for what you desire? Now, imagine the opposite. You feel divided, with thoughts and feelings pulling you in different directions, your actions disconnected from what you truly want. What happens to your reality when you live like this? Can the universe deliver what you want when you're not in harmony within yourself? The truth is simple, internal coherence is key. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned, you create such a powerful energy that you begin to attract experiences that are in total harmony with this new frequency. You become the creator of your own reality. But how do you achieve this coherence? Is it possible to live with total integrity, where every thought, feeling, and action is in harmony with your essence? And what would happen if you decided to live this way day by day? Think for a moment, which areas of your life are still disconnected? Where are you not yet living in accordance with what you truly believe or desire? And what if, by starting to align these parts of yourself, you began to notice rapid changes, almost as if life were instantly responding to this new coherence? Internal coherence is not something you achieve overnight, but when you begin to live authentically, the world around you starts to reflect that authenticity. You become a magnet for what resonates with your true energy. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to radiate such positive energy that just being near them makes you feel better? But what exactly do these people have in common? What do they do, or how are they, that creates this influence? Now, imagine the opposite. Have you ever been near someone who, without saying a word, can change the environment around them? Perhaps you felt a bit drained or unmotivated. But what happens when you begin to realize that the energy you emit has the power to affect others, for better or for worse? And what if I told you that, by changing internally, by transforming, you begin to influence others in a natural and profound way, without needing to convince or force anything? When you live according to your truth, with your new identity, transformation begins to resonate beyond you. People start to notice, become inspired, and follow your example. Have you ever stopped to think, what energies have you been transmitting? What if you started focusing only on the most positive and transformative aspects within yourself? How do you think this would impact the people around you? Because, deep down, internal transformation is contagious. When you transform, you inspire transformation in others, without even needing to say a word. People begin to see in you a reflection of what they themselves can achieve. The change within you could be the key to unlocking the door of change in the lives of those around you. So, I ask you, who have you been in the lives of those around you? What kind of energy have you been emanating, and what do people feel when they are near you? Are you ready to be the inspiration you've always sought in others? Have you ever wondered how some people can change their lives in such a short amount of time? How they seem to have access to a constant flow of positive energy, as if everything around them is conspiring in their favor. What if I told you that this rapid change is not just luck, but a simple practice that anyone can start doing right now? Imagine dedicating just 15 minutes a day to connect with your deepest essence, to unlock your solar plexus, and strengthen your inner sun. What would happen if, over 21 days, you began to reprogram your mind, aligning your beliefs and intentions with the quantum field of infinite possibilities? Would you be willing to make this commitment to yourself? Now, think, what could happen if, for 21 consecutive days, you allowed yourself a daily moment of deep connection with your purest energy? 15 minutes of meditation with 528 Hz frequencies, the vibration of love and healing. Could it be that, by doing this every day, you could unlock an inner power so great that everything around you would begin to change? And what if I told you that this process is capable of reprogramming your limiting beliefs, opening your heart to new possibilities, and connecting you directly with the quantum field, where anything is possible? Can you imagine how much you could transform in just 21 days? Now, I ask you, are you ready to start creating a new reality for yourself? 21 days may seem like a small effort, but the impact they can have on your life will be transformative. What do you have to lose? Because when you commit to this practice, you're not just changing your mind, you're connecting with something much greater. You're tuning into the frequency of the universe. And, by doing so, you begin to realize that, in fact, you already have everything you need within you to create the life you desire.